years ago, a Maine trail camera captured what seemed to be a mysterious creature. Guesses ranged from a fisher cat to a porcupine, maybe even a beaver. But, what actually is it? The Bangor Daily News shared an image that was caught on Norman Tremblay's trail camera that he got for Christmas. And Norman describes whatever it is as creepy. Some folks are like, maybe it's a chupacabra. Is it a real thing? Is it just a legend? Now, I'm hoping for the real thing. Apparently, according to Wikipedia, it was first seen in Puerto Rico back in 1995, which means it's been traveling a long way. The name is because of what the animal does. It attacks and drinks the redness of livestock, also goats. It literally translates to goat sucker, by the way, which kind of fun. So Norman was pretty concerned that something so creepy would live on the land that he owned, and he truly had no idea what it could be. By the way, this was all captured in Lowell, over in Penobscot County, and I probably got that wrong, I'm sorry folks. Now since Lowell is only about 40 miles or so away from Stephen King's home, apparently this creature might be a gargoyle that escaped from the King of Horrors wrought iron fence and headed for the forest. But I guess the jury's out on that one too. Norman's guess is that it's a fisher or a fisher cat, but according to the experts that I checked, it looks a little too chubby for that. And then he's like, oh, maybe it's a porcupine. But one important thing about porcupines, they have quills. This thing had no quills. Once again, everybody keeps bringing up that it's pretty close to where Stephen King's house is. So maybe it was some sort of weird creature that exists on his land that inspires his movies and his books. But to this day, nobody's identified what the heck it could be. You've heard of tigers, right? But have you heard of Firetigers? So these golden predators are just a golden cat, but they're quite rare. A trail camera recently caught one on film in Thailand's Khao Sok National Park. According to the Department of National Parks, Wildlife and Plant Conservation, this golden cat is a rare wild animal on the verge of extinction. Apparently, this species is near threatened, and the population trend is decreasing. These golden cats are about 16 inches tall and weigh up to 33 pounds. And even though we call them golden, they're typically golden to reddish brown in color, with black lines on their face and a white-tipped tail. Rare forms of the golden cat tend to be dark brown or even black, which black cats are so freaking cute. So in a Facebook post announcing the sighting in the national park, the Department of National Parks, Wildlife and Plant Conservation say that historically, local people have considered the animal to have more ferocious behavior than large tigers. Okay, I guess they're less cute now. Fire tigers are primarily nocturnal, but this one appears to be out during daylight hours. They consume rodents, birds, reptiles, insects, and small mammals. Now also apparently they hunt animals larger than themselves, such as wild deer and wild boar. So steer clear folks. They live primarily in subtropical and tropical evergreen forests, and their range extends from like Nepal and Northeast India to Southeast Asia, China, Thailand, Malaysia, and even Sumatra. The Voyagers Wolf Project admits it's stumped. A strange animal has made multiple appearances on the organization's trail cameras, but the wolf experts say that this is no ordinary wolf. A recent Facebook post sharing video footage of the strange animal suggests it's likely a wolf-dog hybrid roaming the wilds of northern Minnesota. So a werewolf? This was one of these stranger observations we had. A wolf-like, dog-like canid of sorts roaming the area, at least according to the video caption. Sort of looks like a mix between a wolf and a Malamute or something. So the organization's first two observations of the animal came from much earlier this year. February 29th, March 3rd, and at times the wolf-dog hybrid was roaming with a couple of other adult wolves. In fact, at the beginning of the video we have, you'll see a regular wolf approach the camera, followed by the hybrid, followed by a third regular looking wolf. And then according to Facebook, we then had 10 observations of this animal by itself from March 11th to the 20th, all across the greater Voyagers ecosystem. So this animal was roaming substantially. But then after that, the animal left the area, because they haven't seen it since. Notably, we have never seen a wolf that looks like this, but we suspect that this canid is either a wolf with some strange mutation that makes it super fluffy and extra large, which seems unlikely, but hey, they're trying to think through options, or it's a wolf-dog hybrid. Once again, folks, may I remind you, loup-garou, werewolf, all options. A rare sighting from deep in the forest of Borneo has given conservationists hope that the vulnerable clouded leopard is on the prowl. In April, the Orangutan Foundation and Tanjung Puting National Park captured video of a mother and two cubs hopping through a thicket. One of the cubs even stopped to take a long look at the camera. So this clouded leopard is on the International Union for Conservation of Nature Red List of threatened species. The animal is endangered partly because of its low recruitment rate. Few adults produce and raise offspring until they're like 2, and then they join the breeding population. Deforestation has also taken its toll on the leopard, which relies on forests for habitat, and the foundation said in a news release that more than 2/3 of the animals have been killed in recent years. On Instagram, it was noted that this was the first time a mother and offspring had been recorded. So according to the experts, for the population to be reproducing is an incredibly encouraging sign. Clouded leopards are known for their long tails, which can match the length of their bodies, and their teeth, which can reach up to 2 inches in length. The canine fangs are the longest of any feline, or at least according to the Firetiger Conservation Fund. The big cats prey on monkeys, deer, pigs, and sometimes birds and reptiles. And population estimates are all over the place, but it's as low as 3,000. This sighting shows how important trail cameras are for scientists and researchers, who kind of rely on it to track species diversity and distribution. A similar trap in Nigeria recently showed a pair of the rarest apes in the world. An ape-looking figure believed to be Bigfoot has been captured walking up a hillside in the US. Fascinating footage taken by a woman named Kelly, who was hiking through the Blue Mountains in Oregon with her daughter, was published on YouTube by the channel Rocky Mountain Sasquatch. And most folks can't believe our eyes. The blurry but fascinating video was recorded at a remote campground and shows a creature walking up a hillside. Now, Kelly initially thought it was a human, so she took out her phone to zoom in closer for the sake of her skeptical daughter. And what she saw when she zoomed in wasn't a human. It might have been Bigfoot. So the guys at Rocky Mountain Sasquatch, who are like constantly on the hunt for more evidence that the elusive creature exists, were super duper impressed by the footage, as were enthusiasts. There was one comment at Billverine765 was like, the creature on the mountainside does appear to be injured or maybe carrying something. The pixelation from the zoom makes it impossible to tell for certain, and this is the reason our hairy cousins are the world champion hide and seek champions. Keep up the awesome work. At Charlie Baltimore7641 said, this is amazing footage, great catch. It almost looks like it has something in its left hand. At first I thought it had a tail, but I don't think that's right. Either that or it has really big hands. Huge thighs though. Thanks for sending this in. So I did some research, and it turns out Bigfoot actually really does like to hang out in Oregon. The history of recorded sightings in the area dates back to at least 1904, when settlers spoke of a wild man near the river. Hairy Bigfoot-like creatures also appear in local indigenous folklore. Encounters have been reported all over the state since then, largely in wooded areas, far from towns and cities. And also the most famous video of an alleged Bigfoot sighting, the Patterson-Gimlin film, shot in 1967, well, it was just south of the Oregon border in Northern California. And that's all for today, folks. I've been Alexa. See ya!